Obviously, I'm not for a war, but I just think if you're not thinking about your bags while this stuff is happening, then shame on you, bro.
If you
Because
invested 10K in Asta or Manta at the beginning of this year or the beginning of last year, you will have $482 and $529 respectively. Like, that is something that should not be possible. Yeah, that's what's killing crypto, man. And then that's when I really believe like we're not gonna see altcoin season. Like I've fully accepted it. I fully accepted it.
100%, altcoin season is not a thing.
I mean, this is the first time Ethereum hasn't been the New York time high, but he tried. Let me he tried.
The content presented in this podcast is intended for informational and educational purposes only. It should not be considered as financial advice, and listeners are encouraged to conduct their own research or consult with a qualified professional before making any investment decisions.
Crypto flip.
In this week's episode, we'll be exploring the market and seeing why Bitcoin seems to be stuck at $66,000. We'll also be looking at what's happening in the world and how it can affect Bitcoin, specifically the pending Iran war. We'll also be analyzing Aave and the fact that it's get $1 billion in RWA. And Brian Armstrong recently said that retail seems to be back. So we'll be seeing whether that's true or not. Well, if it's your first time listening to the podcast, welcome. And if you're a returning listener, thank you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're listening on audio platforms, don't forget to leave a review. We tend to talk about things that affect investors and traders. So if that sounds like something that applies to you, stay locked in. So let's first look at the market. We are currently at 66,700. And we've kind of been ranging between 66,000, 68,000 in that sort of range. Do you think this is Bitcoin ranging and then planning to dip from there, or do you think we can go another leg up?
I am forever saying, based on where we are right now in the market, I just see a downtrend from here. I can't see the market doing anything that's gonna make me feel like it's gonna go catastrophically higher from here. We've seen now hundreds of millions of outflows in the ETFs for Bitcoin and Ethereum. We're seeing open interest has been decreasing. Guess we'll talk about that a bit later. But generally right now, I see the market just trending downwards, and that's cool. Like, it's cool, bro. Markets goes in cycles, and we are in the, I don't want to say bear market. We could be entering the accumulation phase of the market, which is great because it's time to accumulate. I know a lot of men are going to be seeing 66.
Michael Saylor is calling it a crypto winter. Do you agree with that?
Michael Saylor is calling it a crypto winter. He's only saying that because he's in negative equity. But then the Don also bought like 1,500 Bitcoin last week.
Facts.
So I don't even know about my man, but yeah. And bro, if it's good, it's cool if it's the winter, bro. Like winter comes and it goes, innit? But yeah, right now I would say the market is decent. Just do not have alts. This is not financial advice, but if you're in any alt, be wary because they bleed way, way, way more than anything else.
Like, at the end of the day, yeah, I'm gonna say we're cooked. We're cooked. We're cooked. And like, obviously, being cooked is good sometimes because we're cooked. We're cooked. Because I remember I even gave a little thesis to one of my friend that's been holding the alts for a while now. He's been holding alts since 2019, bro. Like, you know what I mean? I just give him a real talk. I remember sending him a 4-minute voice note and then just told him, listen, this is the time where, like, basically where we're at in the market, only half of the market participants believe in I don't want to call it a bear market as well, Ricardo, but just be blunt with it. I'm going to call it a bear market, fam. Because, you know what I mean? It's not a situation where, like, oh, I'm calling it a bear market and we're going to shoot 200K this year. That's not happening. That is literally pipe dream, fam. That's literally smoking mushrooms, bro. Like, that's not going to happen. And I'll tell you, I'll even go a step further, right? I feel like stocks is next to be hit. And I've told you this time, we didn't really stall out based on apathy. We never really got going to begin with because it's always been about Bitcoin and meme coins. And in the other altcoins never really got the shine that they deserved. And then they ended up dying. Like, I saw a stat here, and you guys won't believe it, yeah? If you invested $10,000 in Asta or Manta, which are basically top projects. Like recently, Asta was being shown by CZ. If you guys don't know who CZ is, she's the ex-founder of Binance, one of the biggest cryptocurrency exchange in the world. And if you invested 10K in Asta or Manta at the beginning of this year or the beginning of last year, you will have $482 and $529 respectively. Like, that is something that should not be possible. You basically, that's almost 99% loss on your investment, if my maths is correct. There's no hope of such returns, that you're not gonna recover from such losses, because there's just too much psychological loss from that. You know what I mean? Like, no investor, the investment rather just get out of the position and rebuild it to see this like a ray of light down the road or something. So honestly, I feel like we're cooked mostly in the altcoin market. I mean, Bitcoin, I'm looking at us bottoming around like 49K. I'm not saying that we're not gonna have a counter rally where like we have a counter rally and we bounce to 90K, but those moves are for sure, in my opinion. Like, personally, this is obviously my idea, my thesis, my thoughts. So it's not financial advice, but such a move, which is right now we are currently seeing at 68K, move to 88K, 90K, that is a short move for me. I'm gonna short that pump because I just don't believe we'll have any more for the upside in this. I'm seeing a lot more people checking out the treasury company, like Peter Thiel. He checked out the Ethereum treasury company that he was in. Him and his partner just sold everything. Like, you know what I mean? We have founders of Ethereum selling his own Ethereum so you can have enough money to fund this project moving forward. You know what I mean? Tell me who's buying a massive amount of money other than Michael Saylor. And the reason why Michael Saylor is buying is because he's trying to brainwash everyone to keep buying. And I'm not just, I'm personally about Bitcoin. I'm just gonna keep buying Bitcoin because I think now we're entering the affirmation phase.
The fact we're ranging isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I also think that what's coming next is going to be other. You can kind of lead into the next segment, because I think that what's happening geopolitically is going to be very bad for stocks, going to be very bad for crypto, and overall for the market, it's going to look very, very, very bad. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm talking about the imminent war between the US and Israel versus Iran. And it's not like a quick operation that, you know, like you're just going to sweep in and take someone like Venezuela. It's looking like something full scale, as in a full scale war. The US was planning to use UK naval bases or UK air bases, I think, but the UK rejected that. And so, yeah, they really want to go in full steam and just, you know, to just decimate and dismantle the Iranian government. So with that being said, obviously war is not good for markets. It creates instability, and markets don't like instability. Obviously, there was a thesis earlier on in crypto that, you know, when war happens or when war takes place, people will flee to Bitcoin as a safe haven. We've seen with many conflicts that has not been the case. We've seen it with, you know, the Ukraine conflict. We've seen it with, you know, what was happening in Gaza. It wasn't the case. It had the inverse effects. So if war does come, I see us sliding down to 50 something. So yeah, be prepared. If war doesn't come, it'd probably be a slightly better scenario, but don't expect it to go up to like 150K. I don't think that's happening anytime soon.
I mean, so when the Russia-Ukraine war started, BTC dropped like straight away, took a little hit, and global markets sold off hard. So it was a good shorting opportunity, but obviously no one would have shorted because, yeah, the market was risk off. So everyone was like, this could be bad, and I don't know if or when. Well, I don't know when it will recover. I guess people might think it definitely will recover. But generally, like, that's the short term. Generally, the midterm is people get, like, the country gets hit with war, and then they're like, okay, what's next? Sell off everything. Let's make sure we have some cash. It then carries on for a little while, and then in the short to medium term, people are like, well, actually, I don't trust global currency. I don't trust the global market. Let me go and put some money into something a bit more decentralized. So yeah, I reckon in the medium term, we could see more money going into crypto. Just because you'd have higher crypto usage, you'd have donations in crypto, you'd have cross-border payments that are just going to be massive, and they don't want to potentially go through like the regulatory um routes that they normally take. So yeah, I reckon it could be good. Um, Funny leading factor as well. So Iran moved $200 million worth of money from Iran out to various different people that they needed to pay, or countries that they needed to have a bond with. And it's because they're sanctioned heavily. What they did was they funneled that money through crypto exchanges via the UK, so like UK crypto exchanges, which is interesting because they're already thinking crypto. So will price hold because of the use of crypto if the war does go ahead? I don't know. Obviously, I'm not for a war, but I just think if you're not thinking about your bags while this stuff is happening, then shame on you, bro. Because yeah, you could just be wiping away gains that you barely made last cycle.
Yeah, obviously, I've been quite consistent on this. Business is bad for war. I mean, war is bad for business. Geopolitical instability injects short-term volatility into the market, and it's not necessarily good volatility. Sometimes actually, as a traders, we don't mind whether it's short-term or long-term volatility. We'll take it because that means we can at least capture an explosive move, short in or long in. But we all know what usually happens, and first they will sell risk asset first, because Bitcoin and equities or any kind of hedge assets, and then they'll go into probably gold, USD, GBP, and then maybe some bonds that will be quite stable for them moving forward. But yeah, it's not good. But I think there's more to just. So I feel like for me personally, right, we see good news, crypto's not really moving. Bad news, it actually does worse. He goes downward just as expected. But I'm thinking equities has been enjoying a bit of rally, and I feel like it's next to get hit. And I'm seeing more and more of these, I'm seeing more and more data divide my thinking. But I think Nvidia's earning is coming out on the 25th of February. And on Polymarket, so I love Polymarket. Like some things did come out of this cycle that I love, like the likes of these prediction market. Like if you know what you're doing, if you want extra edge result, extra edge data to kind of like understand what people are thinking, Polymarket is a good place to kind of get it. So currently, there is a 91% chance prediction that Nvidia will beat the quarterly earnings. And it's coming out on 25th of February. If that's bad, equities going to suffer a lot, in our opinion. And if equities suffer, plus its geopolitical instability, we could see a further unwinding of some trades and some people that are obviously over leveraged their neck, treasury company. So I will keep an eye on that, and that's going to happen in the next 5 days. So it's expected to be released on the 25th of Feb, towards the end of the month. We'll see how things trend, but like I just don't see a pump. Like maybe a short-term pump, maybe you pump to 70K, but I just don't see a good 20-25% pump coming anytime soon. You know what I mean? Maybe if Nvidia beats this, well, the thing is, investors already think it's gonna be it. That's why they're not selling enough right now. I feel like investors are basically assessing the inflation data on the Premier data, and some of these big top stocks, company like Nvidia, OpenAI, obviously OpenAI is trading here, but Nvidia is the top one that they're waiting to see how they're performing in terms of their earnings. So if it gets bad for stocks, unfortunately, you think that will actually help crypto. No, it's gonna make it worse. So if Bitcoin is 68K, we can see go back up to 60K or sub 60K again. And I mean, the fair and index greed, it's got the greed index is what, 7? Well, what is it right now, guys?
Let me check my trusty crypto sentiment app. You can download from the Play Store or Google App Store.
So CMC one is 12. Yours is at 8. I mean, could we see sub 5? Oh, of course it's low, but could we see extreme low fear like 5? Yeah.
Well, which is why
I'll be cautious. I'll be very, very cautious.
Brian Armstrong, the CEO of Coinbase, said that Coinbase data shows an increase in retail users buying Bitcoin and ETH dip. So, I mean, they got the numbers. Can you really argue with the numbers?
You know what they also have? They have the numbers. You know what they also have? Shareholders that they have to keep happy. Investors that they have to make it seem like the market is in a better condition than it currently is. I don't know how I could check this metric. Actually, I'm pretty sure if I had 5 minutes, I could check this metric. But brother, I'm just saying BS. Like, are the number of Bitcoin wallets holding Bitcoin have they increased? Is that a trend? You know what? Let me go check. You man, tell me your opinion. I'll come back with some facts because I don't believe this, Don, bruv.
Well, it's there's a lot of ways to manipulate statistics, right? So maybe they measure it in a way which obviously seems favorable, whether it's month on month or week on week. I don't know what the particular way they measure that is. Or maybe they're comparing different dips and saying, more people bought the dip this time than last time. There's so many ways that you can, change the meaning of data. So it really depends on how they measured it. But just using an eye test and, analyzing things and looking on X and, we know what retail looks like when it's in the market. We know what charts look like when retail's in the market. And it just doesn't seem the same. Now, if you're saying that more retail are in than before, yeah, maybe that's true. But if you're saying retail are back, like they're buying up coins and things are shooting to the moon, obviously not. Although in saying that, I'm seeing a lot of activity on certain meme coins and stuff like that. So maybe that's where the retails are going. I'm not sure, but yeah.
Bro, it's BS. I just had a quick check. So Bitcoin addresses with a balance of more than 0.01 BTC, right? So what's that, like $600? Something like that.
But they're
But I thought didn't Brian Armstrong say Bitcoin and Ethereum?
Oh yeah, true.
Did
The whole time.
he did. He said Bitcoin and Ethereum. And I read it to make sure. Because
I mean, liar. I mean the numbers actually trending upwards. We had a recent dip, but I just still don't believe my man. Also, like, yeah, if you had 0.03 Bitcoin, and you split that up over 3 wallets, then you could still say the number of people with more than 0.01 Bitcoin is going up, but it's the same person. Brother, if, as you just said, if Coinbase really wanted to gain this metric to make it look like to their investors and their stakeholders and their staff that they're doing okay, they're doing good,
they
you
can.
can doctor this, bro. You can doctor this easy.
You know what's funny? Like, it's a bit of a side point. It doesn't really affect investors and traders. But just as a side note, he actually sold a lot of his stock recently, cashed in. So I don't know what that tells you, but you can make of that what you will.
What? Coinbase shares?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to. Hey, listen, man. I saw this. Normally, when I see something on X, I usually send to the group, and I see, like, one time I saw. This is how you know it's peak, bro. Like, Scottie Pippen, ex NBA player that retired, was doing TA on Bitcoin. I mean, just if you're looking for further evidence that we're cooked, that shows it right there, fam. When you got an NBA player who knows how to dribble the basketball, is not doing TA, like, that's just ridiculous. Saying, come on, Bitcoin. So that aside, yeah. I saw that in the X timeline, and I didn't even bother sending to you, man, because I know this is just ridiculous. Like, that's a flat out lie. Like, you can't tell me you have the data for it. And if you do, share it. Show the world. Show it. It could just be in bar charts or whatever. Show it. Show us something. But well, guess what? He can't, because he knows it will be flat out lying, fam. And I mean, and like Iman said, if he exited some of his Coinbase shares, I'm sure he didn't sell all of it, but if he sold some, let's say he sold a good chunk of it, he's got to figure out where to keep the investors interested, especially these long-term investors that have been with him since day one. He's got to keep them happy that we still got innovations coming, because let's be real, if Bitcoin is not being bought and Ethereum sales is not going to the roof, how are they making their money? Because I saw this morning, they listed something called, okay, cool, now it's stock traded. But if that also tanks, and you know what I mean, you can't really do washing with that. You can do wash in crypto because you own a large amount of asset to move the market, but you can't really wash in equity. I guess you can, but you know what I mean? It's probably a lot more complicated to move money across stocks market, right, than it is blockchain. But the point I'm trying to make is like, he's obviously doing it to keep everyone interested in Coinbase shares. That's the only reason why. At that point, when we see this man launching meme coins, and I remember I tried to buy some Lender tokens and we tried to buy some Trump tokens. That should have been where we got out of the market completely, just showed everything, man. Because that last year that was the top, really. That was the top. Like, you know what I mean? That was like a fucking thing about it. Like, because after that, we had pastors doing it, we had PMs doing it, we had some low budget Uber drivers doing it. Like, that was the top of the market. That was the top. You know what I mean? That was probably the peak of retail activity too. Let's be real. In hindsight, it looks like, oh wow, it's so clear as day. But when we're actually in it, we're thinking, yo, we'll go to the moon. Bitcoin to the moon, to 200K.
No, we did say, oh, this looks like a top signal, but like, when we look back, like, yeah, this is definitely.
We did say, but I honestly, I did believe we were going to touch 125, 130, but we didn't even get close.
So we could go higher and drop.
We didn't even get close. Like, what was the top again, Rick?
Or what? Bitcoin
For BTC.
126, and that was
Cool. So we did it. So prediction wasn't too far off. I thought 130 was easy. 130, 135. That's all I think about. The highest we ever got was, like Rick said, it was 126. Yeah, 126. Maybe 127 on some exchanges. That was the peak. That was the peak of the peak.
Something else that has been hitting the peak is Aave, as they've hit $1 billion in RWA deposits. So obviously we've been talking about RWA for a while, and yeah, it seems that, you know, there's a lot of moves being made there. So what do you think about this news, and what do you think about the sector in general?
RWA to the world 2026. But I guess this is kind of the boring RWA, because most of this was bonds and equities. Whereas, you know, in terms of RWA, I want like investment stuff. Like, I want real world alternative assets. I want like gold and the blockchain and silver and palladium and other metals. And yeah, so this didn't hit the same way I wanted it to, in my opinion. But yeah, what do you reckon? Still, $1 billion's high though. $1 billion's a good number. Like, that's why in my mind could buy that Notting Hill mansion.
Listen here. Again, no financial advice here. But I'm gonna tell everyone, most of these people, I mean, okay, I'm gonna put ETH and Bitcoin aside. Most of these other altcoins, which I know Aave is actually one of the better good ones, you know, even though the CEOs enjoying his own life, but they're in it. They're not in it for the tech, bro. They're not in it for the tech. Everyone said they're in it for the tech until everything starts bleeding. They're not in it for the tech. They're in it to better their own lives. So if they see an opportunity to sell and make profit, hey, listen, don't blame them for taking it, because Roseverse will do the same thing, because, you know, I mean, we still were in it for the tech, but when things start correcting, we start shaking. So yeah, I just want to put that out there. But are they making progress? We'll see. So in comparison, I mean, it didn't really make any all-time high this cycle. So that's quite worrying in my opinion. Like, last cycle, we hit 662. This cycle topped at 400, so just sub 400. That to me tells me there's lack of growth, but sharing this data, sharing this news, RWA hitting $1 billion, not bad. But like Ricardo said, I didn't even know. I didn't have the facts Ricardo had, but so thanks for sharing that. That it's mostly in the boring market, like bonds and stuff. So we want to see more exciting stuff that's related to the RWA, like maybe even if it's figurines, like whatever it is, like, they need something that's memorable, like something that's like, you know, yeah, people's launching websites where like you can fund people, I mean, doing dumb acts, and you know that website, or you know what I'm talking about, Harris, yeah? That website where you can basically slap yourself or 10 Solana or whatever it is, or yeah, they're the market. You have things like that. They need something like that, but for our RWA twist, you know what I mean? That particular, you know what I mean? Just kind of trading synthetic events, synthetic contracts. I think that will probably get something, but one to keep an eye on next cycle is Aave, because it could make a break. If it fails to clear the new all-time high again, I mean, that's 3 cycles in a row that you have not made all-time highs, and that won't be good for Aave. Let's see where it goes. I'm not saying it's gonna go bust, but I'm saying the founders have shown that they will take care of themselves first. Because I know the other ones say, "Oh, we're in it for the tech. We're in it for the tech." I'm telling you, bro. When things hit,
I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know. I don't know if I'd agree with that. Bro, Aave used to be ETH leveled, right? Like, Aave's token price used to be pennies.
every cycle, there's always a new like emergence, and I feel like in this, like anytime you fail to hit a new all-time high to demonstrate growth. I mean, this is the
Yeah,
first time Ethereum hasn't made a new all-time high, but he tried. You know what I mean? He tried. He tried. You know what I mean? But I didn't even try. I didn't get close to it. You know what I mean? Like at least ETH was close. You know what I mean? ETH
What, ETH didn't
left
top out at like when did it top out? 4.5K this cycle?
Yeah, 4K, I think. 4K.
Isn't that like 20% off all-time high?
No, that's not good.
All-time high is what, 5K, right? So it's 30%
So
all-time high.
I had 5K last cycle. Then this cycle is done. It was very close. I actually made a new all-time high. Right, literally, right, well, couple dollars. Literally, couple dollars. Couple dollars. Like, almost like $20, $50. So,
Oof, the euphoria, boy, when that was going on. You know, yeah, I see it.
yeah, you know what I mean? But the thing is about, okay, perfect example is, yeah, go and see the chart for Polygon. You know what I mean? That made it all-time high. Yeah, Dinocoin, right? It made it all-time high 2 cycles ago, but failed to clear that one from the previous one. So it's like,
I think it's never coming back, bro.
yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? Next cycle, I think is one of the top candidates to become full Dino, fam. Like fully Dino. So,
With
you know what I
my
mean?
goddamn-
Another example, exactly. You know what I mean? Things like that, I think, because it's like an attention mechanism cannot be split across all these tokens. And I think that's one reason that we didn't really get altcoin season this year, because you have too many tokens out there inflated, and there's just not enough attention to go around. You know what I
I
mean?
agree.
If we had less than 50% of the population of the world in crypto, then there will be more attention to divide across. Some people will believe in Polygon, some believe in trash coin, some people will believe in chat coin. But this just isn't. After what's penetration so far? 5% of the world population is in crypto? You know what I mean? So yeah, that's what's killing crypto, man. And then that's when I really believe like we're not gonna see altcoin season. Like I've fully accepted it. I fully accepted it.
100%. Altcoin season is not a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a shame though. It's a shame.
Just a bit.
So what you been up to in crypto, Rick?
Right. So what have I been up to in crypto, bro? I do love Polymarket, the way how you were saying that you love Polymarket. I think as a prediction markets was a wonderful thing that came out of this cycle. Yeah, because like when you look at some of the historic things that people have voted for, like Donald Trump going into presidency, X, Y, and Z winning a fight, X, Y, and Z, blah, blah, blah. Like, they have been pretty accurate, bro. Like, these prediction markets are kind of telling the future. So if you're plugging that into your trading, so what some people are doing right now is they're trading using data from other exchanges, basically arbitrage. They're saying, look, I'm on Binance, I'm on Hyperliquid, Bitcoin is £80,000 or $80,000 and £1. And Polymarket says, is it going to go up or down? Oh, and it's about to close. I'm going to bet that it's going to go up and you could win like that. Brilliant. But I think the maddest thing is you can probably look at it from the other way around. So you can say, how many people, let's say there's a new ICO, like Seeker, for instance, the token generation event. It was like, will the fully dilute value, the FDV, be above 50 million? Everyone was like, yeah. I'm like, okay, cool. Everyone's got confident. Is it going to be above 100 million? We had something like 70%. Yeah. 30% no. Is it going to be above 150 million? Then you had 90% no, 10% yeah. Then I'm like, okay, in reality, it's probably going to hit in between there. And you can use that to say, I'm going to hold this token or I'm going to sell this token. And they were right. Like, I think it was launched at something like 50 odd million in FDV. And by the end of the second day, which is when that Polymarket odd expired, it was above 100. It was between 100 and 150. So bang on the money. But yeah, I have like 8 strategies running now on Polymarket to try and catch some of these ARB opportunities, which is
So you're
ideal.
trading. you're trading on you're trading on the prediction market essentially, or you're using it to.
So I'm trading on the prediction
your-
market, but no, I'm trading on the prediction market. I'm trading on prices moving, or prices being contrary to general population ideology, which is yeah.
No, you know what? That's dope. Like, that's really dope. Like, I think I understand what you're trying to do. Like, personally, for me, you know me, I've kind of loved prediction market for a while now, and I won't give away too many games because I feel like people should go out there to figure out their own edge and kind of figure out. But what I would say is, I wouldn't. You know, there's a lot of innovations we've had. Like, I think the idea of prediction market has been around for a while. Like, since ICO days, we have Augur, but they weren't really doing their predictions. They weren't doing that. They just said they were prediction market, but they never actually gave us that market. It was always at the end of the roadmap, which they'll probably run out of money before they even implement it. So it's good to see a company like Coinmarket kind of come in, do what they're meant to be doing, and then anything else can just kind of come after. Like, yes, you want to do your launch token. Like, that will make even more of a bigger success story. So, like, I feel like you can't ignore the power and just the amount of share information you can kind of capture from prediction market. Like, I wonder if they kind of offer APIs. I think they should start offering APIs, and there's a lot more things that I feel like what I see for Polymarket and those other prediction market like Kalshi, that kind of stuff, is operas from here, because I feel like the better AI gets, the more supercharged layer they can add to their data, because it's quite enriched, especially if you have a lot of people, investors using your data. So I mean, one of the biggest reasons I was confident that Trump's going to win the election was because Polymarket said it was, and then he got it right.
Sure.
Then he literally told the future, like they said, predicting the future. So I'm not saying go on the financial advice. I'm not saying go on Polymarket and remortgage your house and sap on a bet on that. I think, you know what I mean, anything you gotta be cautious, go do your research and be confident, and obviously manage your risk. So, but I think there's a lot of information you kind of take from Polymarket and all these prediction sites that, I mean, they're giving away gems for free, and then I think you can kind of capture that. So thanks for sharing that, Rex. Thanks.
Oh yeah, I also had this momentum trading bot going on Hyperliquid.
Directional or what? Or is it based on?
Yeah, it just trades direction, but right now the market's kind of flat, so it's not really entering and exiting. But you know, whenever
Because it's sideways, isn't it?
literally, if something breaks out, then you know I'll catch it.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm also doing some copy trading on Hyperliquids. I found some good wallets.
All the old ones, the ones you have, old strategy are running. Yeah, that's
That I'm not gonna lie is actually doing better than the rest of them right now. Yeah, man.
Put it this way though, I feel like any move, like I remember yesterday I reactivated my FMX account, resurrected it, put some funds in it.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? I'm not saying we won't get a move upwards eventually, but those moves, I'm seeing them as a short opportunity, because I'm telling you, I feel like 50% of the market have capitulated knowing this cycle is cooked. Like 4 years that most of them already know that 4 year cycle exists, and they do exist on the further notice, but ignoring what Magusel is saying. But I feel like moving forward, this explosive move to like they should be shorted, in my opinion. And I think people are printing money shorting than they're printing money long in these days. So obviously late shorts will be punished, late longs will also be punished as well. So you score, pick your spots, no financial advice. Yeah, catch you next pod. Peace.